explain these strange videos. Disclaimer: these videos are made for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please do your own research on these videos because they haven't been fact-checked.
The Space Force just practicing their formation, that's all. Nothing to see here.
So for a minute now, people been sounding an alarm on this new chicken. And as you can see right here behind me, this is a zombie chicken. Why is this chicken moving? I don't want to hear muscle memory because I have never ate a piece of chicken that looked like it was in the middle of doing a rep while I'm sinking my teeth inside of it. Even the taste of
Pretty sure they got some kind of mechanics or something hooked up inside that.
chicken nowadays does not taste the same. And then all the modifications that they do in the chicken nowadays, ain't no telling what's making this chicken do this. Like I couldn't envision myself eating a piece of chicken that's telling me, "Come here, pretty." And what makes this worse is he totally devoured 2 pieces of chicken. So just imagine how he's feeling about eating this animated chicken. Yeah, something definitely off about this chicken that we eat nowadays. But now y'all can't tell me that the chicken nowadays is totally different from when we was eating it when we was younger. The taste different, the texture different, the smell different. Everything is different about the chicken nowadays.
They plump too. Make me want to go to Popeyes and order a 3-piece, some honey, and the red beans and rice.
What you're watching behind me is an entirely new era unfolding. This is the first ever mainstream music video created entirely in AI. It's for the band Washed Out and their song The Hardest Part on Sub Pop Records. And it was directed by Paul Trello, who got access to OpenAI's Sora model before anyone else and used it to create this vision he's been having for 10 years on a certain kind of music video story and style. And it wasn't until he got access to Sora that he was able to realize that no traditional tools was able to accomplish what you see here. So what he did was use Sora and created 1,700 unique clips using the text to video prompts, ended up picking 55 of those and stitching them together in Adobe Premiere. He didn't use any other tools, no filming, no special effects, no After Effects, probably a little bit of touching up here and there with color and whatnot, but overall incredibly impressive. I love the overall aesthetic and vibes. It's very consistent. The characters are consistent. There are are obviously some small little AI things here and there, like feet not touching the ground entirely, but once again, looks great, very impressive. Highly recommend you watch the entire clip, which is 4 minutes long, and it's on YouTube. There you'll also see quite a bit of dialogue and controversy around this music video. A lot of people are concerned about the kind of material this model, Sora, is trained on. Is it traditional artists in videos, music videos, other people's work, to create the kind of styles that we're seeing in its output? Now, there is no right or wrong answers. The courts are still deciding that, and so that'll be really interesting and fascinating to watch, and I'll be covering that. But overall, a very important cultural moment here around that dialogue, as well as impressive creative endeavors here too as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comments and follow for more.
AI about to change the music game and the video making game. It's about that time for editors to switch gears a little bit.
Biggest potential concern with AI chatbots and kids is we don't know what the long-term impact could be of a child attaching to a chatbot the way they attach to a human. So we have to remember these chatbots are designed to sound and feel like you're engaging with a human, and that's only going to increase going forward. They can validate a child's everyday needs, they can ask questions, they can be a creative partner, but in many ways it could seem like your imaginary friend. But that chatbot, it's a one-way relationship with the child. It's there for you 24/7, but that's not how friendships and human relationships work. They require conflict, negotiation, challenge. So we don't want kids to start to prefer engaging with an AI chatbot that's frictionless over building friends and human relationships in the physical world. So that's something I think parents need to be really aware of. And of course, chatbots can have certain biases. You want to make sure it's a chatbot that's been designed with kids in mind. But I think the biggest thing is making sure children don't start to prefer engaging with AI over engaging with humans.
I think this would be something that we can't control. I could see an era where parents leave their children at home with AI babysitters, even take them to school to be taught by AI teachers.
Hey, does anybody know this right here is true, man, about Pittsburgh? They're saying they took the purge to reality. 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. As few as 20 officers will be on duty to cover the entire city of 300,000 people. But I was reading about it on Reddit, man, and they're saying that there's nobody on duty. They're already saying they don't respond to the stuff half the time they call out. They get there 2 hours later and say, oh, they're wasting their time and resources. It doesn't matter if it's animal cruelty, abuse children, or heck, even the shootings and robberies coming from someone who lives here in Pittsburgh. 5 minutes from the substations this person lives, between 3 and 7, nobody's there. The funny part, though, it actually is unmanned all day. The news has shown up several times as people attempt to enter and only find it closed during business hours. The even funnier part is that I hear gunfire so much I just stopped calling the police because they never responded. So all they've done is discourage people from believing the police here will even respond if we bother to call them.
Like to me, they need to spend a couple days in the hood. So you call the police in the hood, they ain't coming for like another 30 minutes to an hour.
A truck exploded on a bridge in Connecticut, a bridge that a lot of people use. Now the truck is one of those big tankers that carries gasoline to gas stations, and it slammed into another truck, and boom, explosion. This is a picture taken at the scene of the bridge in Connecticut after the explosion. What? Yeah, that bridge is shut down, and it's going to be shut down for a while. Now, according to the reports, like I said, the tanker truck slammed into another truck. Then it burst into flame, melting on the overpass. The blaze shut down both sides of the highway, which connects New York and New England. It happened early this morning, and there are some videos of the post-explosion bridge. A lot of strange, dangerous stuff has been going on all over the country. No, I am not saying it's connected. I'm just saying you got to keep your eyes open. You got to be way aware of your surroundings, even more now than ever, because your safety and the safety of your family is important. Hopefully, we'll find out more about this explosion in the coming days. Okay, shabadoo, booshkies, shabadoo.
I'm sorry, but what is happening this year? Yeah, this is nuts. Let's get straight to the point. I've spoken about Baba Vanga, the famous mystic who has an 85% accuracy rate of predictions. This guy is Nostradamus, who was before Baba Vanga and is extremely well known. This guy, again, has predicted a lot of things. Now, he has 3 insane predictions for the rest of 2024, so let's see if these are likely. And a couple of these are looking pretty damn likely. Some of them may have even already happened. First of all, royal family health issues. Sounds familiar. Now, of course, this year we have King Charles and Princess Kate. So this was back in his 1555 prophecy, so yeah.
I mean, Charles is like 80 years old. Of course he's going to have some health problems by now.
Quite a long time ago. He wrote in here that in 2024 there will be an extremely difficult time for the monarchy, with high powers becoming unable to work and operate. Next up, he said there is going to be a significant change to the Vatican with the death of a monarch, saying that in 2024 there will be the transition to a new pope. He said there will be a drastic change to the way our world moves and feels, bringing extreme weathers and unseasonable temperatures. Now this is very interesting. The death of a celebrity. A lot of people have predicted this. Vanga, I've spoken about this before.
The death of a celebrity. You gotta be more specific than that. People die every day, B.
She says that someone in the public eye who's very well known will pass away this year, and also that someone will come back and say that they had faked their death. So it's interesting that he has also said that someone who's very famous will pass away. So I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, make sure you save this video and come back and we'll see if any of it happens. Hit that follow button.
Examining existence at the smallest levels, things get really interesting. Through entity-guided occult science, the elite have deconstructed the molecular realm and the subatomic makeup of everything. At the very smallest levels to create, control, and manipulate it. Let's get a deeper... Mastery of the quantum matrix with the ability to quantum entangle anything at will makes the impossible possible. When things are quantum entangled, reactions can be influenced at a far distance. They don't even have to be local. Think witchcraft, or MK Ultra, or levels of demonization. Also in a parallel, more use of magnets, crystals, and lasers in use of quantum physics technology. Think weaponized witchcraft. Mastery of the quark and quantum entangle at will technology makes something only appear as something when being observed. Now think about the reptilian conspiracy. Or shapeshifter beings, the movie They Live, or even maybe the nature of this realm. Or simulation-like trances like the movie Hypnotic with Ben Affleck. Or possibly even tying into the reasons we had bells to ring in the atmosphere that would possibly disable this frequency manipulation. See things for what they really are. All this has been demonstrated scientifically with things like the observer effect, the double-slit light experiment, Schrodinger's cat. All interesting scientific rabbit trails that prove this premise. Even things like Alice rings. Speaking of going all the way down the rabbit hole, this interdimensional spiritual technology of quantum computers actually run 1 degree colder than the universe. So technically, it's kind of considered another realm. The slightest vibration, temperature change, or noise will snap it out of its fickle quantum state, which is what's responsible for all this magic. Think of the Mission Impossible room with any kind of disturbance, the alarm going off. This is all about being in more than one state at one time, which is what the definition of a qubit is, basically. Being in 2 states at once. Sounds like possession. Also, aside from set operations, what are these super quantum computers really up to, and who are they really communicating with? Or being communicated with through? Rabbit trails coming up about Google Quantum AI, and a supercomputer called The Beast in Brussels, which was probably fictional, but maybe not. At least there could be some truth to the basic elements of it. Future video plug. Now it makes sense with this need for super cold that some of these super quantum computers would be in Antarctica, possibly even under the ice. Maybe even the ancient ones that have been here for thousands of years. Possibly even made from gemstone crystal computers, like the depiction of Superman's memory crystals, a giant under-the-ice computer system made from crystals. Crystals and magnets tying back in again. Quantum physics. Also in Superman, this quantum interdimensional prison realm is called the Phantom Zone, likened to a black hole, a bottomless prison for godlike beings. Sound familiar? And even referred to as a realm of fractals. Superman has other related messianic themes of a messiah, false messiah, the name El, also the S logo really being a dragon, and really the whole General Zod kind of being Nimrod trying to be freed from the bottomless pit, destroy your Revelation 9 style with an army, just like happens from the Phantom Zone in the movie. And speaking of things that, well, sound like fiction, there's actually something called psychonauts, which are basically psychedelic astronauts that are mapping out the entire DMT astral quantum realm. It's a literal realm.
I definitely heard that before. The DMT realm. Anybody try DMT? Leave a comment below.
With a map that can be reproduced that they've been going to. Also the same concept, but they're called dream knots. And they have letter agency, astral projection, drug-fueled up experiments that have happened. Probably definitely still going on. Also, with somebody possibly occupying two avatars at once or doing something in the construct that they're not supposed to gain access to things that they're not supposed to have access to. Hijacking the Matrix. Two avatars at once. Think qubit. Two states at once. With this kind of manipulation, no wonder all the ancients are depicted with some sort of metal conical hat on their head, probably trying to protect their dome from some sort of weird mind control that's always around. Or maybe make their brain grow electroculture style. With the intentional damaging of the Higgs field, allowing things to pass through from blocked off dimensions, things like the dark demon ghost unknowns, part of this science is anything that affects the field affects all the particles in the field. So think starting messing around with all this stuff, and anything that it is doing to pierce the veil, bruise the canvas, or affect the field is actually affecting all the particles in the field. Think the human body. Unexplainable changes, feelings. Anyway, something interesting about the body and quantum physics though is called the Pauli effect, which is certain people have demonstrated an effect on technology, probably related to something in the microbiome in my theory. Certain people's biofield have a measurable effect on technology. Maybe a defense mechanism. Fascinating thought of the quantum microbiome and how the microbiome is tied into the spirit realm. Something we'll definitely be coming back to, including fasting. Interesting to see what kind of defense this human system will come to fight against this nanotech. The human system is one of the most amazing pieces of technology ever. The foundation's set. Now we're ready to go all the way down the rabbit hole into the fractal matrix and reveal the true identity of these entities. Maybe not what they seem. The mystery continues. If you haven't, catch up on my last 2 quantum videos. See you next time.
This is slippery slope. This is how it starts.
Now, what happens if somebody throw a stick in front of it?
Next thing you know, you got RoboCop. Keep your head on a swivel.
When ants attack you, but not to harm you with their mouth parts, but to allow their bodies to bend downwards so that the stinger can smoothly penetrate your skin. If the ant holds onto you tightly, it will sting you multiple times in different areas, injecting venom into your body, causing you to feel intense pain. During the stinging process, their abdomens release a chemical substance called alarm pheromones. This substance acts as a silent signal informing other ants about the potential threat. Once they receive the signal of alarm pheromone release, these ants will quickly take action and collectively
Man, just jabbing you and squirting pheromones everywhere.
Launch an attack. This is why when you are bitten or stung by ants. The reason for finding more than one bitten area. This collective response is key to the survival of ants, allowing them to better cooperate in attacking predators. When the ants return after feeding its stomach wall, can store a large amount of food in a short time. This way, ants in food-scarce nests can ensure the survival of the entire colony. When the ant colony in the nest needs food, it will feed other ants by regurgitating some of the food. And the interior of the nest is also an extremely complex structure. Inside, it is composed of organized rooms and tunnels. Worker ants play a crucial role here. They cleverly excavate soil using their mandibles. Then they carry this soil outside to build a small mound. Then a small mound. This is the carefully constructed nest of the ants. The interior of the nest has a complex network of tunnels, connecting various small rooms together. Some of these rooms are specifically used as shelters for larvae, while others are designated as food storage rooms. To ensure the food supply of the queen ant and her subjects, the queen ant's chamber is located at the deepest part of the anthill.
I don't know if anybody been bit by a fire ant, but I don't think you want to experience that. And these ants are pretty advanced. It's like they building all kind of civilizations underground.
More and more starseeds are awakening, and it's making the 1% really afraid. What you can expect for the next coming years, especially for the next decade, is more and more bombardment of negativity and lowering your frequency. When you are a starseed, especially an indigo child, only you know if you are one. Your frequency is extremely powerful because you are in control of the ley lines or the grid work of Earth. Your energy directly plugs into the grid works of Earth. Why do you think when you were a child and you flipped through textbooks, Earth was shown with a grid around it or a spiral, a ring around it? 2 rings, actually. Your mission here as a starseed indigo child is to do the healing work for humanity, and I know that sounds very, very daunting. And it is, but there's something special about your DNA. Your DNA has the capacity to be 48 strands. Yes, you heard me right, 48 strands. Right now it's being capped because, unfortunately, the human race was tampered with genetically eons ago by what you consider the 1%. These are your Anunnaki races, your reptilian races, the Orion group, or what the Christians like to call the fallen angelics. As long as you, the starseed indigo child, can transmute energy and turn it into healing, neutral energy, you'll be doing a huge service for humanity, because most of humanity, unfortunately, are asleep. And this is not coming from an egotistical standpoint. I used to be atheist, so I know how it feels to be asleep and to not know anything. With your help, you can create a butterfly effect and awaken more and more people. This new generation of children being born are also going to be starseed indigo children. Earth, Mother Gaia, is desperately trying to ascend, and if you're watching this video or any of my past videos, this is a sign that you're on a mission and you have to stick on this mission. Earth and the rest of humanity, as daunting as it sounds, kind of depends on you. Now on to the less optimistic side of things. Like I said in the very beginning, you can expect to be bombarded with a lot of negativity. The 1% are going to start even more wars, famine, catastrophes. But don't allow the fear to consume you, because if you are starseed indigo child and you fall into fear, because of how powerful your DNA is, you could cause a ripple effect. So instead of causing a negative ripple effect, you want to cause a positive ripple effect. This is why my content always talks about courage, standing up for yourself. Unfortunately, the spiritual journey is not all love and light. They do a lot of evil things to humanity. If you ignore the truth, you're never going to get out of the trap, because you're just going to be delusional. So have the courage, stand up, speak out, awaken more people. You know exactly what to do. Your intuition will tell you. You can further learn about spiritual ascension through my book, Made in God's Image.
What would it be like to be a four-dimensional being? The answer to this is going to blow your mind. See, being a three-dimensional being means that everything around us is comprised of 3 dimensions. Length, width, and height. Everything from the rooms that we're in to the human body itself, all the way down to the thinnest human hair strand. Even that is 3D. There's no such thing as flat. So the question is, what would all of these things be like, but from the perspective of a fourth-dimensional being? Someone who can perceive things from the perspective of the 4th dimension, which is time. And this is where things get crazy. A four-dimensional being would be able to see the evolution of that strand of hair over time, and in a single instance, in a moment. A four-dimensional being would be able to look at you right now, and in that exact same instance, they'd see you as an infant, as a teenager, as an elderly person. Four-dimensional being would be able to see everything around you just as it was on the very first day that it was made, while also seeing it decompose and return to dust. As a three-dimensional being, we move through time, but as a four-dimensional being, you see it. You see it. Just like we see space, they see.
Hey, I bet experiencing 4D would be wild. Looking down on 3D, I'll be playing jokes on everybody, making stuff disappear, rearranging things. I had people feel like they losing their mind.
Did the 1980s movie Gremlins predict the dark future of AI? Perhaps. Okay, let me explain. In the whimsical yet cautionary tale in the movie Gremlins, we were introduced to a Mogwai, a charming creature that under certain conditions spawned mischievous and malevolent versions of itself. This cinematic...
I don't know about y'all, but I used to love the Gremlins. You feed them mugs at the night, or you get a little water on them?
Cinematic story offers a playful yet profound parallel to the current discourse on artificial intelligence. What if AI, like the Mogwai, could replicate itself, but with unintended consequences? Consider this. AI is designed to learn and evolve, to improve upon its algorithms. But what happens when it begins to create versions of itself without human oversight? This scenario opens a Pandora's box of possibilities where an AI could inadvertently or even purposefully create a version that's not aligned with human ethics, much like the transformation of the Mogwai into Gremlins when the rules were broken. If certain ethical constraints are not imposed with AI, could it be similar to feeding a Mogwai after midnight? The result could be a new AI, perhaps with enhanced capabilities, but lacking a moral compass, leading to outcomes that are as unpredictable as they are potentially hazardous. As fun as this comparison might be, it does underscore a critical point in the development of AI, the need for stringent ethical guidelines and robust oversight. Just as the simple rules in Gremlins, no water, no food after midnight, no bright light, were designed to prevent chaos, it's super important that we adhere to rules to ensure that AI replication remains under control. Let's use the Gremlins as a fun but stark reminder of what could go awry when we play with powerful technologies without foresight and responsibility. We definitely don't need our Mogwai turning into Gremlins.
This mysterious cone-shaped hat is made of pure gold and is one of 4 that have been discovered around Europe. It is believed to date back to 1000 BC.
Hey, imagine walking around stunting with that gold hat on. They all be on you then.
The images on them represent astronomy, the study of the stars. They also have complicated mathematical implications, suggesting a level of philosophical development that's very advanced for what we thought was available at that time.
Researchers studied the symbols and concluded that they represent a complex mathematical table that can calculate the cycles of the sun and moon. But why construct the hat from gold?
The suggestion is that they belong to what might be referred to as oracles, people that could fall into an altered state and prophesize, could come up with statements relating to the future or other worldly situations.
This man, Bill Gates, alleged that it's going to be another pandemic. TikTok is for entertainment purposes.
Pandemic. We'll solve all those problems.
You say the next pandemic, there will be another pandemic.
Absolutely. We don't know when. You know, the risk per year, 2%, 3%.
The next pandemic, and there will be one. There will absolutely be an outbreak of another pandemic.
We definitively will have to face other surprises, black swans, as they are called, maybe different kinds of viruses.
But also there will be a surprise outbreak. Most of the work we're going to do to be ready for pandemic 2, I call this pandemic 1.
The pleasant surprises, which
They said in the 21st century alone, there have been outbreaks such as, and you read those below, right? But why is all of these billionaires and these corporations, you see it was a compilation of them talking about when it was going to be the next thing. Do they get the world script that we don't get? Do the Simpsons get the world script that we just don't get? Because to me, this sounds like predictive programming. Now, who watching these billionaires? Who knows? I don't even know where they be airing these interviews at with Bill Gates and all them. Maybe a lot of these things are old and being resurfaced, bro. But y'all let me know what they be doing these global.
I know that Bill Gates was a little old. I seen that about a year or two ago.
Trilateral commission interviews at, because the fact that you got world governments from across the world talking about it's going to be another shutdown, PAN1 and PAN2, what's going on with that? Y'all worshiping Pan? Bad for me? I was playing. Nah, but I'm serious though, man. You already know this man doing the mystery meat with the vegans, the beyond meats and things of that nature. That's crazy, bro. We in some crazy times. So y'all let me know below what y'all think. You can't trust nobody who make a plant-based beef substance when you trying to get healthy. Imagine you trying to get healthy and this man say, here, come, you trying to get away from me. There's nothing wrong with me. But if I want to eat some ground beef, I'm gonna get some real ground beef. Feel me? If I'm gonna eat some lion's mane mushroom, I'm gonna eat some lion's mane mushroom. Stop calling it beef. You know what I'm saying? Why is you trying to do imitation tricks on our mind? Then he look excited like dude predicted something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta really be aware out here and what they pushing in our face and through our ears, and we just letting fall on dead ears. You feel me? Don't let this go one ear and out the other. This folks gonna be chasing the grocery store for some water in a minute, or chasing the store for some toilet. What was they doing, toilet paper last time? That's how you know we in mind control society, bro. Because folks was really running in the store grabbing toilet paper. That was crazy.
That boy Bill out here creating them, then coming up with a solution. Genius way to get rich. I wonder what goes on in that brain of his. Yeah, honestly, it looked like it was a string on a chair, and when a door closed, it pulled the chair.